I'm ready.
Okay, first question. What is the title of your piece?
Who are you?
Huh?
Who are you?
I am the angel of death. Ideally, would not be speaking, would be silent. My title of my piece is Angel of Death / My Woman, because my friend pointed out that that would go hard as a title, and I've been calling her My Woman quite frequently.
Okay, what is the process of how you came up with your idea?
Quite literally came to me in a dream. I had a stress nightmare right before this class started about being at the very end of the semester and not having finished my final crit piece. And the piece in that dream was an angel puppet, which was larger than life size. So then, because the class was about to start, it's like, this would be awesome, this would be great and perfect. So she literally came to me in a dream.
That's great.
How did you procure the materials and research the processes of your project?
So I watched a lot of videos on backpack puppets, but they're all like 14 years old. So they weren't all super helpful. The wood was scrap wood that he acquired for me from the wood shop.
God, that's very scary at any point.
A lot of it is cardboard. So a lot of the structure, her head, her chest, her back is made of cardboard because I have so much. I used model magic for her face. I just had a lot of fabric lying around, but I did buy this sheet that did tear a little bit this morning, which is very disappointing, but oh well. And then because Joann's is closing, I bought $50 worth of yarn, and that's where the wings and the flower crown are from. As well as the hair, that fabric is also from Joann's.
Yeah.
And then the wood for her arms and the control sticks were acquired by my parents for me. This is driftwood, and this is bamboo that my great aunt just like has bamboo growing in the yard, and you have to get rid of that stuff all the time. So she gave me a lot of bamboo.
Cool.
Explain the process of making your piece. I feel like you already did that.
A little bit.
I think there's a lot of things we can talk about in terms of the process, don't you?
Yeah, I can break down into the simple things. So like the frame, I did very little of that. You helped me with most of it.
Well, yeah, I think we first, the bamboo just wasn't working out.
The bamboo wasn't gonna work because I had to lash it and I just had yarn.
Yeah.
So the bamboo wasn't gonna work. The bamboo barely worked for the arms. I had to staple it up here so it wouldn't come loose, and it doesn't like to be fastened or nailed, and so it's kind of split in a couple places, but that's okay,
Yeah.
it'll last. The frame was probably the simplest and most straightforward, aside from like the cardboard shape of the head, but the sculpting of the head took several days because I had different passes of model magic, then tried to sand it didn't work too well, and then had to paint it, and then add pastels on top for depth. The cardboard, I didn't have any...
Sorry to interject, how'd you like working with the model magic stuff?
It was just okay.
Yeah.
I really wish that I had done regular clay for the actual features and then paper mache over top of that.
Okay.
So the face would just be paper mache, because that's what was recommended in some puppet like manuals, but I didn't have that kind of thing. I could have just found some.
Yeah.
Crocheting the wings took forever, but that's all. It's done. They're too long for me to wear normally.
Can we see the back as you talk about?
They're like 5.5 feet long. There's no pattern for wings like this of this size that I could find, so they're completely free form.
Ooh, love the back.
And you worked on that at home pretty much throughout the entire time we were doing the project?
Yes, it took, actually because she came to me in a dream and I was like, I already know this is what I want to do. I started the wings on spring break. So I finished one wing that week, and then the other wing took me a few more.
That's great.
And the flowers for the flower crown, those are all crocheted. I just looked up a bunch of free flower patterns. I'd say the single most time consuming thing was the skirt and this panel, because I have no confidence with a sewing machine, so they're hand sewn, hand stitched. They're starting to come apart a little bit just in the back, but it's fine, it'll last. And then the hands, which were also hand stitched, and I used wire armature with duct tape to create bones, so she has distinct joints.
Oh, great. Can we connect?
Yes.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of processes, just kind of all at once.
Yeah.
You're very good at pointing and gesturing with her.
Thank you. I can
That's how those
see,
things of practice.
I can see generally a little bit, but I I don't have any puppeteering experience.
Yeah.
I just have to pretend that she is me.
Yeah.
You gotta start spinning.
You're doing great.
You gotta start spinning. I feel like, and you let the wings flow a little bit.
I'm worried that her head's gonna. I don't know how
Just
that
comes
looks because I can't
spinning
see
like
it.
a top out of the sky.
I would love to see this in like you like walk into like I don't know the union or in front of like a lot of other people,
Yeah,
like in a public setting.
Yeah.
it would be. I know. I want to wear her to a Renaissance fair.
Yeah.
That's my long-term goal. I want to work on her over the summer
Yeah.
because there are a lot of things that I would like to change, and I want to wear her to a Renaissance fair this fall.
That's the good idea. You should do that.
Did your
Yes.
did your project or idea change over time? Did you have to pivot at some point?
Well, I already talked about the frame had to be. It was going to be bamboo initially. That had to change because bamboo is hard to work with.
But so that's interesting. Let's talk about that because like you wanted to use bamboo because it was nice, rigid, lightweight
Yeah.
material. So what we did was we cut down pieces of wood that were similar in size, right?
Yes.
And is it lightweight?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
She's actually way lighter than I expected.
Oh, good.
The only issue wearing her is that because her chest collapsed, both in the drive, once in the drive up from, I went home over the weekend for my friend's performance of Little Shop of Horrors, and on the drive back, because I took her with me so I could work on her, at some point the chest panel like fell inward, and then on the bus ride here today, it completed the job. So
no.
this part doesn't like to stay up, specifically this side,
What's it made of?
cardboard.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, that's easily fixable.
Yeah,
right?
the only problem is that because all of the fabric is already sewn on and attached, there is skin everywhere.
Okay.
I would have to do intensive surgery. But so because I had sewn this window when the fabric was held higher up, I have to really scrunch my face down and it's kind of hurting my back
Oh, okay.
to be able to see.
Okay.
But that's a fix that will happen.
Point to where your eyes are.
Right now they're right here.
Okay. Okay.
But if I relax my shoulders and stand naturally, they're like right here.
Oh, okay.
So
Slight tweaks of design.
yeah.
What is the most successful aspect of your project?
I think the fact that I finished it. I think the fact that it exists in the world at the height that I wanted, with sort of generally the features that I wanted, I think it's kind of a little bit frightening in a good way, hopefully imposing generally, and that's kind of what I was going for.
Yeah,
So
definitely. You achieved that. What do we, let me interject. What do we consider successful?
I love the hands. I love the hands.
Miles loves the hands.
or they're little spindly spider hands. I worked really hard on them for hours.
Amazing choice on the fabric for the head, for the hair.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I still have only a little bit left, but I saw it while I was thinking about while I was getting yarn from Joanne's. It's like it would be so beautiful, and I love it.
She's imposing and scary, but elegant.
Perfect.
I love how you did like little stick arms instead of like realistic arms. It really adds to it. It's so fun to watch them move. I had so much fun watching.
No, I really enjoy puppets, even though I've only made one before in my life, and it didn't turn out very good. But I used the same technique for the hands, even though he only had one controllable arm. But I really like that the size and the looseness of the joints gives them so much like a range of motion.
Yeah, totally. So slight thing that maybe we could find something thinner profile, like of the bamboo, so it's not as distracting from what are the cool arms.
Well,
Or
not this time, but
next time.
yeah, I want I wanted the arms to be more skeletal,
Okay.
so I wanted to have a second piece of driftwood, so this part actually looked like bones.
Oh,
But
cool.
I didn't have time to go get more driftwood over the weekend, so this is all that I have. But in the future, that's one of the things that I want to change, is I want her to have just a little bit more bulk,
Yeah.
just right on this arm, so it looks like bones.
Yeah.
And give her some
I
bracelets.
think
Yes.
Yeah, because
I think if you like,
She's also supposed to have
I
longer
think if you
sleeves.
had
but-
thinner dowel rods that you spray painted white.
Yeah,
From
to
this part?
really camouflage into everything else, so you're not
Yeah.
looking at the dowel rods.
Yeah.
I'm nodding, you can't tell.
I wish that there He's not. I wish that there was some way that you could like hide your hands inside
know.
of the dress.
white gloves.
But
That's what I was thinking. I'm going to Walmart tonight to get a fan so I can wear her tomorrow, and I was thinking about getting white gloves.
that would
You
really
need white
help.
gloves.
I think that would solve it.
I might have some
For my long ass arms.
white gloves.
They would have to go up to like maybe here.
Oh, they'd have to go up to here.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't.
So like princess gloves.
Yes.
Okay.
They might have some.
Okay.
Um,
I think we've sort of been talking about the next question.
yeah. Last and most importantly, what are you wanting the viewer to come away with?
Want them to feel a little bit of a sense of dread, but also that like,
Thanks for that.
yeah,
I
you're
feel
welcome. I've been drawing her a lot today. I've very recently lost some creatures of mine, like a childhood cat. And I've been thinking a lot about, I really like the idea of death as like a kind creature and also part of a cycle. So she isn't just like a scary thing that takes your life away. She is the entirety of the cycle from birth to death, guiding you along, which is why all of like the flowers, they don't necessarily evoke
Yeah.
dead things because she's all of it, and also is like a gentle and kind figure
Yeah.
instead of entirely frightening, even though death is frightening.
But it's not necessarily bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's the shepherd from
Yeah.
life to death.
And a lot of vanitas paintings.
Vanitas, yeah.
Vanitas paintings already had flowers in them
Yeah.
as like just the origins. So that's like quick general reminder of that.
Yeah.
The painting for the everyday life and flowers. Flowers and fruit are
Yeah, they're
alongside
temporary.
clocks and scrolls is a very sweet way to.
Which we all are temporary. Memento mori.
Yeah. That's the vibe.
That's
That's
great.
it.
That's great. I think you did achieve, like, she's imposing and there's something angelic about her. And it's not necessarily meant to strike fear in the viewer.
Yeah.
There's something even in her expression that's both solemn and elegant, but also kind of like, I don't know, I could see giving her a hug.
She's a little less bony, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of like a god or a spirit looking kind of sinister, but when she get used to them, it no longer is.
Yeah. I think she looks solemn.
Now that I've been standing in the room with it, it feels more like protected to me, like
Yeah.
comforting, almost. Like she would protect you.
I want this person to take me over to the other side.
Yeah. I
Don't worry, you won't have to wait
less
long.
scarier than the
Yeah, after that.
What was that?
I said, don't worry, you won't have to wait long.
Thank you. Yeah. So what are some other successful things you think about this guy?
So I want to share, you definitely depict death as more of like